Morning, computer science. So we're going to get a quick little review of your Explore task. So that's good to create this big project. On the Explore task, we're going to pick something and just write a little bit on it. And again, your total words are not to exceed 700. So this is not like a huge English paper. But I want to just sort of find some sort of technology out there in the real world and connect how computers, how data is working with. So first you'll go and you'll find some, call them computing innovations. This example, they are looking at facial recognition software. So whether that's being used on your phone to use the face recognition to, I think Apple, gosh, I'm old school. I have an iPhone, so the newer iPhones, newer Androids do. So you could, only phone there. There's issues with that, or maybe good. We'll see, but here, first is making some. They call it a graphic, a video, or an audio clip. That if it's a video or audio, it can't be more than a minute. So again, these are sort of short to the point to just sort of explain what is your thing. So here you can see they have picture, looks like recognition, and they're sort of showing that it's like map some down the same but then what the thing that we're looking at, what do we're talking about being compared to identify. So real quickly, and then explaining on a face detected image, and then it's like here, look like we're looking at these 2 points on the eyebrow, looking at the eyes, looking for. And then you see these little here, those are their references. So you're gonna go online. The library is still closed as far as right now, so we can't go into the library. We aren't gonna be able to go into school and grab books out of there. So you're gonna be pulling all your sources off online. So anything that you pull from to help you with this, or that you would reference. So it looks like probably this picture from over 4 is, and we'll set. So you'll make that, and then you've chosen, you've researched a bit, you've gone online, you've read a little bit to answer these questions. This first one today is just really saying, hey, what is your thing you chose? Well, they chose facial recognition software. What is facial recognition software? Here they're doing it in 2 sentences. Again, super quick, super fast. Looks like they're pulling from a source there. So maybe they looked up a couple websites and they found one that described facial recognition really well. So they used the definitions or paraphrased the definitions from there and quoted their source here. And then lastly is just a quick how does that artifact that you make, whether it be a picture, a video, audio file, how does that relate to what you're talking about? Then let's go ahead and come down here. After that, the second part here, again, short, 100 words. You can see that all these are very responses, is just to describe the process of how you made, in this case, an image, that graphic. And so they're just saying, hey, I use Google Drawings to create the background. Then I select images off of Google Images. I copy images. Then I select sources with the brackets. So again, their image wasn't like some grand detailed thing. This isn't a digital arts or digital media class, so you don't need to make it crazy fancy or feel like you need that for a good grade. It can just be simple and to the point. And we're already halfway through. This C question here. whichever technology you have, you need to pick out one good thing about it and one bad thing about it. Effects of it. So let's see what their effects are. So they're one, and you can see this format is very easy to follow. One effect of facial recognition software is lowering retail crime rates. Okay. The photographs of known shoplifters are matched to criminal databases. Then retail loss prevention and security are notified to prevent further crimes, causing rates to decrease. So, like, I have a father-in-law. My father-in-law works in the grocery business. He actually works out here in the Antelope Valley, and they have this in their stores. So if you've gone to the store and you've stolen things, and they know that they've caught you stealing, or you ran out and they're able to get a photo of you on the way from a security camera. Usually after maybe the first time, you're not always put in the system, but maybe after the first or second time, you're put in that system. So if those people even walk into his store, he gets a text message right away, as well as any of the other managers on staff saying, hey, this person, and it'll have their picture, just walked into your store and they have a history of stealing things. So facial software is totally used in that way. Let's see. One harmful effect of facial recognition software has the potential to have on society is its misidentifying tendencies. More often, misidentifying people of color. Okay, so maybe there's some racial issues in this software. This misidentification can lead to extreme consequences, as this device is used by law enforcement and could incriminate the wrong person. So, I mean, what happens when you walk in? If we use that same example, you walk into the store, now security's asking you, hey, we need you to leave. And you're like, but nothing's wrong. Like, I've never even been to the store before, but because you look like someone who did, and maybe the store wasn't as great as it could have been, or maybe how it only looks at the same parts of your eyebrows that a bunch of people share or something. Now it's misidentifying you. So in this case, there is a benefit to being able to identify people, and a harmful effect too. I'm sure as you guys will choose to go with something like this, you'll find a lot more harmful benefits. You'll find a lot more benefits. It's up to you. You get to pick which one do you just want to, sort of focus in on. And you can see again here, it's telling what the benefits and what that problem is. Like, all of these are 2 sentences. So total of 4 sentences here. We're not writing a lot. We're just making sure it's to the point. And lastly is to describe sort of how technology works. So you see this already longer. Where does facial recognition software get its info from? So it gets it from the cameras, and then what does it do with those images? So here, the image for format that allows all images to have the same resolution, etc. So I haven't made facial recognition software. I made very simple ones, but in school I had to make we had to make software which would track targets, and we had to be able to update and change targets. And that's sometimes very difficult. And we were just using regular old webcams, so that it'd be possible to work off of everybody's computer. But sometimes the images you get, there's so much information there. How do you reduce that? How do you change that? So one might be turn everything into black and white, and count how many white pixels there are, how many black pixels there are. And if 2 pictures match and they're black and the white pixels are all in the same spot, then you would say that those things are the same, and you'd have some identification. And then you can also have concerns about this. In this case, a concern that might be, what about privacy? There's cameras everywhere. And you want at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, data security concern. So we want to talk about all these cool things it's doing, but also what's something that's not great about it. In the case of facial recognition software, there we go. I keep forgetting the our term. there are so many cameras out there. What's to stop somebody from, or what's to stop a government, or what's to, stop somebody who can hack those cameras from now being able to track somebody as you walk through a city? And those cameras are now able to be used to locate faces and track people. Is that an invasion of privacy? According to this, they're saying this is an invasion of privacy, would be prohibited by apparently this court case. So they found a court case, looks like this was. So, not surrendering all of your amendment protection. So here we're looking at computer science, but how is computer science affecting the world around us? I mean, lastly, so you're just going to list each source, those little numbers we've been seeing, each source that you used. And with it, you want to give all of the information so that somebody else can go and find that source. So, for example, here, if I wanted to, check out this source that they use, I know the author, I know who wrote it, I know what it's called, and if Lexan, I'm gonna maybe some sort of a magazine, 23rd January. Well, okay, or a blog. So now if I was to, copy and paste here, I'd be able to go to that blog. And here we go. Let's see, it's gonna work. This way, this is how we cite sources. Your English teachers are gonna tell you this all the time, and then history. So now I can go through this and sort of see, are the things that they pulled out of the article what's actually here, or is this a little bit? I'd want to look around, and those are other steps that we don't really worry about too much right now. But it allows others to come in and follow the same steps that we did. Oh, look, here's a picture of binary, local binary pattern. So yeah, similar, similar to what we started out. Just trying to look at, instead of looking at a colored image and a lot of things going on, let's use all the detail and then use this to compare things against each other. And it tends to be a lot simpler. We're talking about neural networks. So there's a lot of computing that's all being linked together here. So if you have any questions on this moving forward, please let me know. But as you saw, the length of the responses are short. So if you're writing like paragraphs upon paragraphs, that's great if that helps you think. But for that, you're going to have to revise and get these things down to short little clips. And if you need, go to College Board and look at their Explore examples, and you can look through all these. This is just the first one that they have. But as you can see, they ask a question, they're answering it in 1 to 2 sentences. We're trying to just answer the questions simply. This project, again, is a lot smaller than your Create project. So hope that it goes well and smooth. And I'll try to post up some possible ideas, but at the end of the day, it's on you to just explore and to pick a topic that you would want to write on, that you would want to answer some of these questions about. So thank you guys. I hope you later.